Creating elegant, ruffled, dimensional flowers is really a fun and beautiful way to make elegant cards. However, if you've seen some of those, you may have looked at it and thought, that's pretty, but I could never do that. Today I'm going to share some of those tips and techniques to create gorgeous Camelia Carnations. You'll love these techniques and it'll break it down and make it easier than ever, and it'll be so much fun. So join me and we'll learn these techniques together. To create the carnations, I like to start out by stamping the images. You can choose from the small Camelia Carnation stamp and die set. There's 4 different sizes plus 2 different sizes of leaves, and this is the coordinating die that cuts it out. Or you can also pair that with the large Camelia Carnation as well. That has the 2 largest sizes plus your leaf and a beautiful image with that. So to get started, you'll want to go ahead and stamp your images. Now I am stamping and coloring tone on tone using the Lilac Posies Memento ink. So when you get started coloring this, say you don't have a lot of time one evening and you want to make some flowers, just stamp a bunch of these different sizes and color them in with your favorite colors. So if you think about carnations, you can do this in all types of colors, all types of sizes, from large to small, which gives you a lot of varying sizes for bouquets and different projects that you'll be using on your cards and altered projects. And then once you're finished coloring it, you can go back, just lay your coordinating die on top, and you can cut all those flowers out with one pass of your die cutting machine, which makes it so simple and easy. To shape the flowers, I like to use a flower shaping mold. With this mold, you're going to be able to get that really crinkled and creased look. This is the 3D Floral Basic Shaping Mold. If you haven't used this before, you can click the link for the die compatibility list to see if it fits into your machine. But all you do is, this is one of our universal molds that you can add most flowers that are 2.5 inches or smaller. So with this one, this is a little bit larger, but I am still going to add that to this mold opening. Some of them you'll see they sit right on the inside. This hangs out a little bit in the edge. That's okay. So just fill this up. You have your flowers stamped side down. I'm just misting some water on the top. And since this is has a crinkled molded effect, this gives you those really beautiful deep detailed texture that would take you hours to create by hand. So just put the lid on. Just make sure that it is everything's pressed together well. And then for my vagabond, I am just using 1 clear plate on the bottom, 2 sheets of cardstock, and then another plate on top. And that is the sandwich to run that through very quickly and easily. So we'll run that through the machine. And it has all those beautiful creases when it comes out. So once that comes out, you'll just open up your mold and you'll see how beautifully that is just shaped. You'll pop that out, and then we'll begin to continue to shape this to get the full ruffled effect. When this comes out of the mold, you could leave it exactly like this and just do a small circular motion in the center and you'd have 1 layer flower. But if you want to take it to the next level, when it's still wet, you can use your fingers and just add a little bit of a crinkle. Since that mold gave it that base crinkled effect, it is super easy, and you can just bend it together, squish it together a little bit more. So we'll do that to each petal. This step is completely optional. And when you do this, I like to have a little bit of a color differentiation. So this is just an extra little tip for you. I use the Rhubarb Stalk, which is just a little bit darker ink, and go back over those petals that are creased, and it gives it a little bit of a darker tone to the flower. It gives it a little bit more texture and dimension. If you wanted to, for this specific flower in this size, sometimes I'll bring it up and I'll just kind of wrap it around the stylus a little bit. That's totally optional. It curves those petals back just a little bit more. Once you've done that, I do like to make sure that my flowers are very dry by the time I add them and glue them together. These two are dry already, and we're going to add the third layer. So when you add this third layer, you could go ahead and just offset those petals. And the next step to making sure that it kind of comes up together and is very crinkled and closed like that, I like to add a little cap to the background of the flower. To make that little cap, what you'll do is you'll take the die from the large Camelia Carnation, and you can choose which size you want. You'll cut those out, and all you'll do is once those are cut out, just use your stylus, circular motion. This step is totally optional. It's just if you want to have that extra hold on the back of the flower so it doesn't accidentally smoosh or get squished, so it makes it very sturdy. So you'll just lay this aside. I overlapped about 3 scallops. Here is one that is already dry, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this up with glue, and I'll add it to the back of this flower. Now when I'm doing this, I just kind of add it to the back like that, and I'm going to just remove these flowers, and I'm going to fold my mat in half so that we can just squeeze down and just make sure that is still in the center. And then we're going to use our stylus and use the small end of the stylus, about 3mm tip, and just squish down into that cap. You'll see that that is holding it very, very beautifully. And you can then kind of pull those petals together. You could even add some glue to make it come together a little bit closer if you wanted to. So each flower will turn out a little bit differently just based on the size and the sizes that you layer together. These I did the same size in each layer and 3 layers per flower. If you want to add a smaller flower into the main large flowers, you can go ahead and just pick a smaller size that you love. Just add a little bit of color on the back. You've already squished the front, and just bring that up together and glue that into the center of a different flower, and that kind of creates the effect of a little flower bud in the middle. So totally optional. This one does not have the cap on it in the bottom, but that is another way that you can kind of create a flower bud look in the center. Another step that I like to do with these is for the really tiny flowers. If you want to add a stamen to create a fun bouquet, all you need to do is take one of the tiniest flowers. This is the smallest one in the set. Use your piercing mat from the Deluxe Flower Shaping Kit along with the paper piercer that's in there, and just add a little hole down the center. This is cardstock, so it pokes out a little bit harder. It sounds kind of loud. And then take a stamen of your choice and just thread it down the center. I add a little bit of glue to the top and push that up through, and you've instantly got a little flowers that you can use as a bouquet or just little fillers that are really beautiful when you're creating those Camelia Carnation bouquets and cards. Pairing these flowers together with bouquets create elegant, delicate cards. This is a large one, just very dimensional, paired with the leaves, and you'll also see this really beautiful carnation background. That comes from the Fanciful Carnation stamp and die set, so that has your main background images that you'll love to use as an anchor to add those decorative carnations. So we'll take a look at some more flowers that were created with the carnation. As we go through, you'll see a lot of decorative dies in the background and some elements from previous collections. And really take note of all the different colors that were used with the carnation to really make it delicate. So there's pinks, there's peaches, and there's a vibrant red paired with some other mini florals. Absolutely stunning with these border dies. So as you're making these carnations, your floral basic shaping mold paired with a large and small Camelia stamp and die sets are going to be your best friends to creating all the flowers that you see. Here's another beautiful little pin that's completely covered with crystal lacquer. Added a pin to the background that would be great for a corsage. Here is a little, I love this for Valentine's, a little Valentine's Day holder. You could add a chocolate bar. Or here I have one that has a completely different theme with just a little bit of pink on the edges. The carnations are also really beautiful on the foam. See the pink and orange paired together with some stamens in the center. And here is a completely different look using kind of a mauve and a green color. So with the rippled edges, you can really create a very pretty card, adding some stamens in the center so that just kind of hangs out, folds down. Here is a peach and blue combination that I absolutely love. And then here's one that's more elegant, think wedding or Valentine's Day. And And then here is a layout. If you love to do really fun centerpieces for your home, you could do a floral display with it. This is foam flowers as well. If you haven't checked out the art foam, that is great to use with the florals. And if you love to do altered pieces, here is a beautiful, beautiful display of the carnations on a painted can. Isn't that beautiful? With some paper decoupage to it. Or you could do like a little box. Beautiful, beautiful colors of flowers combined. And I loved how this one was using some of the classic wedding images, and the paper in the background really created a delicate scene. So the paper within the Camelia Carnation is beautiful paired with these flowers. It adds great background so you can create quick and easy cards and even some scenic backgrounds for you. So you'll have a lot of fun pairing these flowers and paper together for beautiful, elegant creations. Have fun using these simple, easy techniques to create your own beautiful dimensional carnations. And if you don't own these yet, I have added the links below for quick and easy ordering, so make sure you get yours ordered today. And I'd love to see what you create. You can share your projects with us on Facebook. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on our upcoming videos. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next time.